Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing my TBR for the third quarter of the year. If you're new here, the way that I do my TBRs is I just do them by quarters. This gives me 3 months to get something read, and then I'm not having to talk about the same books every single month because I didn't read them in that month, so now they're rolling over the next month, and it's just a whole thing. So I find that this is much better format for me because I actually get through all of the books in a 3 month period. So it's been fantastic. The way that it's been working for me is that I choose at least two books that are on my priority reads for the year, and then I pick three other books that I kind of want to get to. The first two I'm going to talk about are on my priority reads for 2026. The first one I'm going to talk about is The Long Walk by Stephen King. Now, me and Stephen King, we don't really get along very much. I don't tend to like his books. I DNF'd several of his most popular books, like It. Couldn't finish it. I didn't even get very far into it because I just couldn't do it. So me and Stephen King, we don't really get along very well. But I watched the movie back when it came out, and I really liked the movie. Really, really liked the movie. I love the concept. I love the characters. So I'm really hoping that this book will draw me in just like the movie did and be so much better, which I know it's hard when you've like watched the movie first and then try to read the book. Like you're always gonna be biased to the thing that you saw or read first, right? But I'm really hoping that I'll like it. Or I'll at least like it a little bit, more so than I typically like Stephen King. So, super excited about this one. So, if you don't know what The Long Walk is, The Long Walk, you're following these young men. They're like at least 18, and they have signed up for this long walk. And what that means is that they are walking until they literally cannot walk anymore. They have to maintain a specific speed, and they're not allowed to stop like at all for nothing. And if you break the rules too many times or if you drop below that speed for too long, then they just kill you. And so it's the last man standing. And it was so much fun. I love this. So I cannot wait to read this book. The next one on this list that is a priority read for this year is a nonfiction. This one is Fight Right by the Gottmans. And I love relationship stuff. I love reading self help books for relationships. I read the Gottmans, How to Not Fall in Love with a Jerk. That one was so good. I quote it all the time to my clients when I'm working with them. I quote it to my friends when they're dealing with relationship stuff. Like, it's been such a blessing. And I started this one in like 2024, I think. I started it with the guy I was dating at the time. He wanted to read something with me because I was in Bible studies with some girlfriends. And he's like, I want to read something with you. I'm like, okay, let's read this. I don't think he read the first two chapters. And I think he only read those chapters because I was sitting right there with him. So I've not read it since. And I want to read this so much. This book is teaching you how to argue and how to manage your expectations during a fight and reminding you what the goal is when you're arguing with somebody. Like you guys are a team against whatever the problem is. You're not at odds with each other. And learning how to communicate more effectively during disagreements and conflict and stuff like that. And so I cannot wait to read this. And it's going to be this year. Like it is going to be in the next 3 months that I'm going to read this because I'm putting on my list. The next one on this list has probably been on this list since last year, and it is The One. This one is a thriller by John Mars, and we're following this group of people who, in their world, they have found a way to find their perfect match. Like, you put your DNA in, and it tells you who your soulmate is basically based on your DNA. And I think that is so interesting. I love that kind of stuff. But the added layer in like the blurb is that what if you're like a cop and your perfect match is a felon or they're in jail? And that is so intriguing to me. Like, I'm so interested in this. I can't wait to read this. And it sucks that it's been on my list for a year because I really want to read it so bad. But I'm going to get to it in the next 3 months. And then the next one on this list has also been on my list for about a year, and that is The Echo Man. This one, I don't know exactly what perspective we're following, but the story is essentially we've got this serial killer who is copying different serial killers. So they're killing multiple people, but they're using different MOs, different weapons, different everything to throw off the police, right? Well, then the Echo Man decides that he's gonna kind of start doing his own thing. And I'm so interested. I think that is so cool. And this is one of the thrillers that a lot of the thriller people that I've been watching on YouTube love. So I love a good thriller, and I think that this one will be really interesting. I'm really thinking that we're getting the perspective from the police officer, and then I think there's a girl that we get a perspective from who was one of the victims and then got away or something like that, or she's related or something. So I don't know, but I'm definitely excited to read this one. And then the last one on this list is probably the one that's been on here the longest, and that is The First Binding. I love the tagline of this. It says, "Every great story begins with a lie." I love an unreliable narrator. Unreliable narrator is my favorite thing ever, and I absolutely love it. So I'm so excited to read this fantasy novel with an unreliable narrator because I have no idea like what all we're going to get into, and I am super excited for it. So I really love the blurb for this one on Amazon, so I'm just going to read you the blurb. It's not super long. "All legends are born of truth, and just as much lies. These are mine. Judge me for what you will, but you will hear my story first. I buried the village of Ampor under a mountain of ice and snow. Then I killed their god. I've stolen old magics and been cursed for it. I started a war with those that walked before mankind and lost the princess I loved and wanted to save. I've called lightning and bound fire. I am legend, and I am a monster. My name is Ari, and this is the story of how I let loose the first evil." Doesn't that sound so great? Like, I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait to start this one. Like, I love the voice in that description. I hope that's the voice that we get going into the story. Oh, it'll be magnificent. I just can't wait. But yeah, guys, so that is my list for my quarterly TBR for quarter three. What books are you reading in the next few months? Have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.